This morning, fear and anxiety on the rise as the coronavirus tightens its grip on the nation.
What's your level of concern right now?
Medium to high.
In New York City, a state of emergency. Crowds are shrinking, with cancellations growing on Broadway and beyond. The normally packed Times Square also taking a hit as people stay away from the crossroads of the world.
Describe the mood for me, at least from your perspective. I mean, how would you describe it?
It's hard to describe. There's obviously fears in the air, but also confusion.
Worried shoppers are rushing stores, stockpiling supplies, in some cases not leaving anything behind.
Some of the shelves are completely bare of non-perishables like rice and pasta.
The pandemic even reaching places of worship. St. Patrick's Cathedral removed its holy water as a precaution. Cardinal Timothy Dolan discussing the preventative measures on his weekly podcast.
So we don't just say, oh, who cares? I'm not going to wash my hands. God will take care of me. No, one of the ways God does take care of you is by giving you hand sanitizer, right? So kind of do that. Use your head.
As a crisis deepens, more Americans say they're struggling to separate fact from fear.
It's hard to know what's real and what's, exaggerated.
A virus putting a nation on edge as it continues to spread. For today, Kathy Park, NBC News, New York.
So that's the state of the nation. How can we ease some of that anxiety and handle what can be some difficult discussions with our loved ones, little ones, and also sometimes our parents? How to talk to them about it. We've got Dr. John Torres back with us now, along with relationship therapist Dr. Argie Allen-Wilson. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, guys.
I didn't think I was that anxious about everything, and then I found myself waking up an hour and a half before my alarm, which I have to tell you, I have an already pretty early alarm. I think a lot of people just have that sense of, how bad is this going to get? How do you deal with that? Because that can become its own problem.
And that's one of the big issues is the unknown of what's going on and the fact that it just hit us so quickly and there's so many uncertainties behind this. And I even say constantly that we don't know a lot about this virus. We're learning as we go. But people want to know what's going on. They want to know the facts. And that's part of it is separating that fact from the fear. This is not one of the conversations I'm hearing when I go out and about. This is the only conversation I'm hearing.
And I think, too, anxiety comes from you're scared of the virus. But for a lot of people who are worried about are they going to be able to work, anxiety is real. It's about your income. How are you going to care for your family? What's the best way, do you think, to kind of keep your head straight?
And this is one of those double whammies, too, where, again, in the past we've had with the swine flu epidemic and all those, it was more worried about the infection. This one, you're worried about your income, you're worried about your 401k, you're worried about those things. It's just, one is take a deep breath and just take a reality check. Okay, where exactly are we? For most people, it's not really going to affect them medically that much because 80% of people have mild to moderate symptoms anyway, and chances are you're probably not going to get it. But you keep hearing about all these situations where communities are shutting down and you start thinking, okay, that means that I have an issue too, not necessarily. And then realize too, it's what we've been hearing from Stephanie Rule in particular, your 401k, don't touch it right now. Just kind of keep, probably don't even look at it right now. Just kind of keep an eye on what's going on and realize we're going to get through this. This is not the first time we've had something like this, 9/11, swine flu. We've had these before. We'll get through it.
Dr. Argie, what about our kids? I heard my son yesterday. He was playing with a friend, and I heard the word coronavirus. How do you talk to your children about what's happening right now? What are the best ways to do that?
There's some do's and don'ts, right? So you want to tell them that you're going to be here. We're going to be okay. You're going to be through that. We're going to go through this together. But you also want to let them know that you're going to be the protector, right? You're the adult. You're in control. Kids want to know that they're secure and they're safe. So predictability, structure, and consistency. You also want to let them know you have a plan. And even if you don't have a plan, tell them that you're working on one, right?
But what do you actually say, too? Because, I mean, we have little ones. They're out of school. So I can't ignore it. I don't have a structure that we used to have. I'm washing their hands every 10 seconds, scrubbing them to death.
So you want to use children's language, and you want to say, you don't want to lie to them. You want to let them know something's different, and we're going to create a new norm. Here are the things that you don't want to do. You don't want to act like you're not okay, right? And you don't want to use language like chaos or catastrophe or disaster, right? And you want to have them inclusive in the plan. So come up with a progress chart, just like you do for like chores and things. How many times did we elbow bump? How many times did we sort of keep our distance or wash our hands? And then celebrate that with the new norms. So you want to include kids so that they have a buy-in into this new norm.
What about teenagers, though? Teenagers are pretty quiet as is. A lot of them are going to have their probably have their graduations, I'd imagine, canceled.
Yeah.
So how do you talk to teenagers?
Well, teenagers are different, right? You want to have family meetings to keep them updated because they want to know, right? You want to also ask them sort of in an indirect way, how are your friends feeling, right? Sometimes they won't talk about themselves, but they'll talk about how their friends are, and that'll be a way to engage them in the conversation. And then text chat, because they're going to be on their devices anyway. So getting information by way of putting everybody on the text is good.
One of the things that's tough is a lot of older people are being told to isolate. I'm sorry, but there's nothing more depressing or sad for an older person.
And bad for their health
and bad
as well.
for their health to be holed up alone without interaction. How do you play that? What's the best way to play that?
We've got to do a better job with our elderly anyway. I'm seeing more older people in our practice where they're grieving losses, their friends, things like that. So talking with them, if they're a little bit connected with social media, then text chat, and recognize that social distance does not mean social isolation. So stay engaged even more than you would normally be engaged.
And another thing, too, realize that social isolation can be a big issue for them. And so even though people aren't going to visit their parents as much right now because of all this that's going on, encourage them to visit other people technology-wise, Skype, FaceTime. These people they haven't reconnected to, and they said, I wish I could talk to my old friend from high school from 50 years ago. This is a good time to reconnect with those people and try and get that conversation.
If you do have little kids, we're writing letters to Nani and Grammy and
Pop.
Pop.
They love the letters.
Yes, so it's like something for them to do.
My 10-year-old had no idea what a postcard was. It's fun to send a postcard. Can I ask a personal question, though, Doctor? My wife and I are expecting a baby in like 2 weeks. And for anybody out there that's also expecting in the next month, God willing, we get 10 fingers, 10 toes. When we get home, what do we do with that little child who's seemingly so susceptible?
As far as keeping them protected from coronavirus?
Can people come visit but stay 6 feet away? Should they just stay out of the house?
Initially, at least for the first few weeks, I would say let's keep people away from it just now, just to make sure, only because you want to make sure that baby's okay, because they can get the coronavirus as well. And so, I would talk to your pediatrician and say, how much time do I have to give them before people can come in contact with them? They can still come by and see them. I wouldn't necessarily have them hold them or kiss them at this point. I know that's something they really want to do.
Okay to elbow bump an infant?
It's okay too. Maybe the foot tap.
Your little girl's going to be so cool. You don't want to do that. What about Playdates? A lot of us who don't know what to do with our kids, as they used to be in school, they're going crazy in a New York City apartment or whatever. Can they be with other kids?
Yeah, and this is like I tell adults as well. It depends on how much you trust the people you're going with. And by trust, I mean how much do you trust them to stay home if they're sick or if their kids are sick. Yeah. So if it's a group that you trust that the kids are going to be okay, the parents are going to keep them at home if they're sick, then I'd say let's go ahead and play with them. But again, explain a few things. Try not to touch your face until you wash your hands. Don't get too close to them. Not a lot of hugging, not a lot of kissing kind of stuff. But definitely, play with them, especially if you're playing, different games where you can keep a little bit of distance.
Yeah. Also do play dates like on social media. And I said that this is a time when we are learning to use our words now. Because we can't show, and people show you better than they can tell you, we're learning to use our words like I love you, I want to be close to you, I'm connected to you. And then play, board games. Doing lots of different things that you wouldn't normally do. So this is an opportunity
we played
to
Operation
be still.
last week.
Yeah. A lot of those fun things that we used to do.
Dr. Argie, Dr. John, thank you. Thank you both. That was very helpful. By the way, we want to mention that you can find the very latest on everything that's happening with the coronavirus, real-time updates on our live blog. Dr. John is on the blog all day when he's not here. It's NBCnews.com/coronavirus.